Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to intend that it reaches whoever needs to hear the messages that come through. So I don't know who this is for. I don't know what's going to come out, but I feel drawn to just do another reading. I did another one just a minute ago and I'm uploading it today. It's November 11th, but this one I'm going to post far out, so connecting with the energy of that time period, putting my intention out, trusting that it's gonna reach the right people at the right time and land. So let's get into it. Who's this then? Seven of Wands. I feel like you made it and your backbone is being celebrated or encouraged. You did it. You got through it. That's the first message coming out. You got through it. You made it. And you might be having trouble slowing down the momentum a little bit. Four of Swords. Seven of Wands was the first one that came out. This is about, pride, protection, valor, Lord of Valor. Might be hard to, slow down, calm down. But it's okay to rest. And it's also okay that, your system is might be a little bit wired. And when I look at that, I see the image of an eye. See, it kind of looks like an eye, especially like at a sideways or like flat angle. It reminds me of, the shape of an eye. Two of Pentacles. You might be contemplating a new decision or project or undertaking, like what's next? What am I gonna do next? I don't know how to balance the next things, or like you're trying to figure out how to balance the next things. Four of Wands. It's interesting we have two fours. You might be busy coming up soon with some community stuff or some family stuff. You might be juggling a lot in your community. Or you might be in a place where you are very fulfilled or very busy or actively working on certain projects with your community. Knight of Swords could be a lot of communication and conversation going on, a lot of passionate exchanging of ideas, intellectual ideas, and then Temperance. There's an invitation to maybe slow down or it's like it could also be read as there's this blend between intellectual arousal and an embodied peaceful weightiness. It's like there's weight and it's almost like bringing in some of the ideas. What I'm trying to say is some of the ideas that you may have been floating around in or that have been active lately, or conversations you've been having with people, could be actualizing, and you could be in a place where you're starting to finally feel the tangible, sensual, embodied impact of those ideas. And maybe projects that you talked about doing are now turning slowly and becoming felt things. They're manifesting, they're materializing. It's slow, but it is happening. You have the Hermit. And the Two of Wands came out upright, so I'm just going to read it this way, but then it spilled over to the reverse. What I get with that is, with the way that it fell and everything, is that you could have a situation where you are heavy in contemplation, or there's something that you haven't shared with everyone or with anyone, and you are feeling maybe stuck between decisions. You don't know what to do regarding this secret thing, or regarding this this personal thought or experience that you're having. You could feel torn. This could be a very personal decision you have to make. This could relate to who to trust, where to go, what to pursue, what to decide, what to start, what to share, what not to share. It could also relate to discernment. You could be having an initiation where your discernment is being tested or refined, I want to say. What else? What else wants to come through? Upside down Hierophant. Yeah, you don't know who to... I feel like you don't know who to trust, and you don't know what path to go down. A literal example I can think of for this is like trying to decide what career path you want to take, or like what school you want to go to. There's a big path, a big decision about a path up ahead that you're deciding on what to take. And we have the Three of Cups. There could be strong social or communal influences surrounding this decision, or just in your life in general. You could be heavily considering certain friendships right now, and you might want to follow those friendships. You might have found something socially, communally, relationally that works, that flows, that feels good, that feels nourishing, and you are taking that into account when weighing whatever decisions that you want to make. So yeah. What else wants to come out? We have the Magician and the Eight of Cups. You are actively releasing something, and you understand that you need to let go of something or make a sacrifice in order to actually create the thing. It's like your hands are too full to take on that next thing that you want to do. So there could be some grief, there could be some preemptive grief around what to let go, around acknowledging that you can't manage all of the things that you want to do at once. It doesn't mean that you need to like completely sacrifice or let go, or like it doesn't mean that the things that you need to let go of in order to make room to do the other things, the new things, are going to completely disappear. And it's not like you're going to be abandoning them. It's like, you know, for example, if you like grow up somewhere and that place holds your soul, your heart, your life, your family, and then you go to college. Just because you go to college doesn't mean you're throwing away those relationships that live there. It doesn't mean you're throwing away the house that you live in. It doesn't mean that you are, you know, necessarily sabotaging anything. It just means that you need to literally move yourself and put your energy towards studying to get a degree in this physical college location so that you can get the thing and get the job and get the credentials and get the experience, and then go back to your hometown and contribute something new to your hometown, your family, your community, whatever. So this is what this is. This is like, you know that you need to grieve something or release something in order to create something new. And it could be very sad for you. It could feel very heavy. But what could help that is maybe having an intention or a plan, or just reminding yourself, especially if this is what you want, that, you know, what is truly meant for you, it's not going to go anywhere. The people that are meant to still be there to love you and support you, they're not going to go anywhere. You know, you might have less time, or your schedules might change, or your rhythms might change, but that can never break what God has for you, you know? So, yeah, it could be at a kind of like a pinnacle turning point kind of phase, and just kind of realizing those things. What else? Oh, we have the Lovers. It's one of my favorite cards. Ooh, we just had like a splurge. Okay. The Lovers and the Devil. You are seeing things, you are thinking very, excuse me. Excuse me, just one second. You're thinking very dialectically right now. And you could be feeling dialectically. I thought the moon came out, but it's not. Yeah, you are like in between, back and forth, a couple of things. For some reason, okay, so we have the Lovers and the Devil, and then we have the King of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Sun. And this, for some reason, makes me feel like there is an intellectual energy overshadowing your personality or merging with your sense of radiance and your sense of self. There is a, yeah, there's a, I want to call it, there's a conversation between your mind and your soul, your mind and your spirit. There's a heavy back and forth, pausing, calculating, contemplating, thinking process going on between your intellectual discernment and facts and things that you know, and your spirit, the sun in your soul, the light of your neshama, the light of your soul. There's a dialogue, a back and forth between your discernment and intellectual integrity, and your spirit. That's how I read that. And with the Lovers and the Devil, this is a lot of just like duality energy. I did a reading I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, even though it's posted on my channel, months ago from when this is, scheduled to upload. But that one also had a lot of like polarity energy for some reason. It's so fascinating. Actually, I'm getting like not literal chills, but like chills thinking about this, because it just resonates a lot. I feel like what's happening is, and especially if you watch the video that I posted on November 11th or November 12th after midnight, depending on how long it takes to upload, because it's uploading right now and it's like 11 something p.m. I don't know if it's going to post before November 12th midnight. But yeah, there was a lot of like polarity, duality stuff. Anyway, I feel like that points to this thing of like opposites attract. And it's like, there's so much integration that's happening. You're growing into a person who is able to hold bigger polarities than ever before. And it's like, you can hold the paradigm, you can hold the paradox, is what I'm feeling. And you are in some paradoxes right now. You are really in them. You could be being stretched, and it could feel like a real intense, like spiritual, emotional, even intellectual initiation. But these cards are opposites. This is bondage and attachment and obsession, and this is like harmony, unity. You know what I mean? The Lovers and the Devil are literally opposite archetypes of the same like pole, the same energy. So take that how it resonates, You could be growing extra discerning in the areas of life, in your areas of life regarding harmony, like genuine harmony, like what nurtures you, grounds you, harmonizes you, feeds you, and what binds you, what entices you, what seduces you, and how do those energies harmonize? How do they interact? And that's a relationship that you could be exploring right now. So I don't really know what that's about, but it's interesting. I'm just gonna pull some final cards for this. What do my people need to hear? What else can I share? Isn't that funny? This was on the bottom of the deck and I wanted to read it, but we had the Nine of Wands. It just came out anyway. You feel like you could be at the end of your rope with something, Princess or Page of Wands. You are ready to burst. That's what I get from that. You're ready to burst. You're ready to let go of a thing. You're ready to move on to a new thing. I feel like that just gives me marathon energy. I feel like you just kind of ran a marathon, so to speak, in life, and you're ready to like already start the new thing, and you're already thinking of like, where's the new thing? How can I start the new thing? Just like hungry for life. Judgment, the Tower, and the Hangman all in reverse. There's some major changes that are over. That's what this is. I feel like you just went through a false restart, and I don't even know what that means, but that was just the words that are coming through. Yeah, I feel like you went through a false new beginning. I feel like you maybe started something and then realized that you weren't seeing it clearly. It was never sustainable, and you weren't able to force a different perspective to adapt to it. Or that could also point to something that it wasn't you, but it was some other situation or person that didn't match up with your values, your perception, what, the energy that you had, the foundations that you were like operating out of in your life. With Judgment and the Hangman reverse and the Tower in the middle, this is like backwards or like mirrored perception. Someone wasn't seeing or willing to see the truth of a situation, and it fell apart because they weren't able to like adapt to something maybe. But they're all mirrored, so this makes me think that it's like something outside of you, or something that, or like a situation that you encountered that was maybe at first presented itself like something that you could adapt to change. That didn't make any sense. Yeah, I think I've said enough. Interesting. I feel like I want to pull clarification on like what the heck this energy is, because this is kind of wild to me. I'm actually just going to reorganize these cards and put them back in my deck right now so I can pull from a fresh slate. So just give me a minuto. I'm going to make sure they're upright so I can pull upright. Okay. All right, so let me have clarity on the Judgment, Tower, and Hanged Man reversed. What is this situation? What is this representing? Is it a person, a situation? I really feel like it is a situation. And I feel like it just coercion. You could have been coerced into something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. What does this represent? That was clear. Two of Cups. I feel like there was an attractive relationship, person, situation thing that just like flopped on its head, and there could have been something that you got involved in or connected to or like literally built a relationship with. And it doesn't have to be a person, but it could have been a commitment that asked for your emotional investment. And I feel like there's some disillusionment that happened with that thing. What are some like closure messages around this? Like Ace of Wands. I mean, I feel like this maybe revealed more of your values and more of what you want and what you desire. This kind of made clear what you desire more deeply. So this is what you're being encouraged to look at, is like, what did this awaken inside of you? What passion did this thing awaken inside of you? What truth did this thing awaken inside of you? Let's get one more encouraging message. We have the Five of Cups. I feel like you are having to move through, I feel like you got like, you got bamboozled, maybe. You got gypped. You got screwed over. That's really sad. I feel like with the bottom of the deck, King of Wands, like there's protection and like more, I don't know, it's like your spiritual spine is like that was also a theme in the previous reading that I just did today. But I feel like your backbone, your authority, your ego power, your balanced ego power is from this situation. It's like you just like woke up, and it may have been like a really harsh awakening, but it showed you who you are. It showed you your fire. It showed you your values, your passion, what you burn for. And maybe those things were like taken advantage of or misplaced somehow. Or you just went into a situation and it didn't match. It didn't match clearly. or you learned and were able to release and pick up new perspectives from a situation that just it wasn't able to sustain itself. So that's what I'm seeing for that. I'm just going to leave it there. I hope that this, helped you out. Feel free to leave a comment, share your feedback or experiences if this resonated with you. And if you want to book a personal reading from me, send me a message here on YouTube. If that's not an option, send me one on Instagram at Rustic Peach. That's in the description. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.